What level is Ash's Pikachu? Is it completely irrelevant because the anime has absolutely no correlation to what happens in the games and its gameplay systems? Yeah, maybe it is irrelevant, but maybe it's not irrelevant. Maybe it actually does matter. MatPat made a whole ass theory about it, so let's check it out and see how accurate he may be.
It's been 3 years since I undertook the mammoth task of calculating Ash's age. 2 videos that drove me insane with days of research, cross-referencing, watching the show, but it was definitely worth it.
Wait, what? Is it YouTube? Hello?
That was nothing. I ripped my hair out researching that episode. Oh!
Dude, listen, the editors on game theory videos are actually sick. The way that Sprite moves is so cool. Like, I have to give him a little bit of credit. Even if you don't like the theories you think are kind of dumb, the editing on these videos is top class. I actually have a friend that edits for game theory too.
Is that it? I barely felt a tingle. You've traveled to 8 different regions at this point. Surely you have to be stronger than oh, that's what the episode's about, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hello,
honest
Internet.
prediction?
Welcome to...
If we're gonna make an honest prediction, like, I would say, if it's not level 100, and it's probably not, maybe like 54. That's my prediction right now, 54.
Game
Get your
theory.
predictions in the comments.
I guess? Yeah, it's another one of those what channel should this be on episodes. Anyway, back in 2018, I did a theory that nearly broke me. I wanted to figure out how old Ash Ketchum from the Pokemon anime really was. And if you watched that theory, you'd know that it took a toll on me. Days and weeks of solid research and writing with details hidden in the craziest of places. But alas, dear theorists, that was just the warm-up. Today, we are going to be looking at the other biggest question people have about the Pokemon anime. What level is Ash's Pikachu? You see, what started me down this path was the first episode of Season 14, the start of the Pokemon Black and White or Best Wishes arc.
No, that episode. Oh, it's so bad. I hated that so much. That's the episode where Snivy claps Pikachu's cheeks. Oh, but he was weakened by Zekrom. That's why it wasn't in his full power. Dude, that Snivy was like fresh out the womb. It was fresh out the pussy, and it absolutely destroyed Pikachu with Leaf Storm. Doesn't make any sense, man.
A Snivy. In this battle, Pikachu lands 1 hit on his opponent and receives 2 hits in return. But after
that should be a one-shot.
Pikachu faints. He just loses the battle. How?
Idiot.
At this point, Ash and Pikachu have traveled to 5 different regions, earned themselves a total of 52 badges, and won against the toughest trainers, even literal gods. So that was it, friends. My theory brain went to work to figure out what level Pikachu would have to have been by the time he fought Snivy in that episode to prove definitively that there was literally no way that he could possibly lose. And to do it, I had to sit down and watch the preceding 651 episodes of the anime and 13 movies, which,
wow, there's so many episodes of the anime. Dude, people be like, don't watch One Piece, it's so long. Listen, I'm like halfway through One Piece right now. I'm not even gonna attempt to start this.
Are considered canon. I
used to watch the anime back in the day, but like, it's getting a little ridiculous now if you want to start it at this point.
Appears in and makes a Pokemon faint in are not clearly marked off on any fan wiki in existence. Oh boy, this was a rough one. But I can tell you that my work was worth it because what I found at the end of my anime binge was shocking, to say the least. Pikachu was nowhere near the level that I or anyone else in the fandom currently thinks he should be at. So what level is Pikachu?
I kind of want to change my answer.
Pokemon journey starts now. So
I want to say it's level
the answer
92.
we reached today is going to be our best approximation of his level. The anime timeline and geography don't really line up with the games perfectly, and we all know that they don't totally follow the same rules as the games.
Electric attacks won't work. Pikachu the horn! Smart move. Rhydon's horn.
That's got the same energy as Yu-Gi-Oh's Attack the Moon!
Pikachu, aim for the horn! Like a lightning rod.
As such, I needed to set some ground rules. We're only going to be counting battles that we see on screen. Pikachu has had to have fought in the battle, and the opponent has had to have fainted, usually shown by big spirals across their eyes. Or they have to have been deemed unable to battle by a referee. We also won't be counting every time Team Rocket blasts off again. There are, however, occasions where Team Rocket's Pokemon are shown to clearly faint prior to their blast off, and so...
Well, how much experience do you think you're gonna get from an actual human being? What level is an actual human being? You can't go based off of the age because that doesn't make any sense. If I'm 100 years old, does that make me really strong? No, of course not. It makes me really weak because I'm crumbling and I have bones made of paper mache, but surely you get some experience from humans, right?
Those will be counted. We also won't be considering moves used as a sign of Pikachu leveling up. This is because the names of moves are sometimes used interchangeably, especially in the early seasons of the English dub. They also have a habit of giving Pokemon moves that they can't physically learn, like Charmander using Skull Bash, a move that the Charmander family can never learn, or Pikachu learn.
No, I disagree. Every Charmander has a skull, therefore every Charmander can Skull Bash. Checkmate, woke
The
leftists.
move Volt Tackle, a move that can only be obtained through breeding and not learned naturally. Now, for this theory, we're going to be using the flat rate EXP equation from the games, hence why this is a game theory, where the amount of EXP you earn is based off of the following factors. If the opponent is wild or owned by a trainer, if the winning Pokemon is with its original trainer, the base experience yield of that specific Pokemon, if the Pokemon is holding a lucky egg, the level of the fainted Pokemon, if an EXP point power is active, if the Pokemon has an affection rating of 2 and above, and if the winning Pokemon is past the level it should evolve. All of that.
Okay, so there's no way you'd be able to understand, even get an idea of most of those things, like the affection one, the original trainer one, I guess you could maybe get.
An amount based on if the EXP share is on, which leaves you with an equation that looks a little something like this. Section
Also, what
T,
Pokemon's gonna be
P,
holding
V,
a
and
lucky
S
egg?
are all going to be set to 1, as Ash is Pikachu's original owner, and the other items are not seen to be used. Variable V was only implemented in Gen
fair.
6, which we're not getting to today because we're stopping our calculation at that particular Snivy fight. Pikachu's affection, though, is an interesting one. It becomes 1.2 if the affection is above 2, which I believe happens around episode 30 onwards, as Pikachu there is shown to put aside his own feelings to help Ash get what he wants. So those are all the obvious and easy
I love how we're like calculating the mathematical formula of love right
variables.
now.
The big challenge is figuring out the level of each and every losing Pokemon throughout every single one of the anime battles. For the sake of the theory, we use 2 ways to calculate this. If the Pokemon is wild, I took the route that they were on, or at least the route they should be on based on which cities they're traveling between, and from there I looked at the highest level Pokemon and lowest level Pokemon that you can find on said route. From
Wow, I'm impressed. That is a lot of research to go into a little theory like this. That's pretty
there,
sick.
I simply took the median number, or middle number. For example, on Route 1, the highest level is 7, but the lowest is 2, so the median level for that route is 5. For any
Wait, the highest level is 7 on Route 1? Since when? Definitely not in Red and Blue. Definitely not in... Maybe in the Huckled Soul Silver games, maybe?
trainer battles, I instead used the mean level, or average level for that route, adding them all up and dividing by the number of trainers. The exception to this was when gym leaders or Team Rocket used Pokemon that their in-game counterparts also used.
You can find a
in which case
7
I
in
just
Red
used
and
the
Blue?
level for
What?
that Pokemon directly. The final factor is that we'll be calculating Pikachu's level by taking his total experience and finding the cube root of that number. This is because Pikachu is part of the medium.
Oh, now we're
fast
using
EXP group,
phrases
so
that
this is
I
how
don't
the game
understand.
calculates it. All right, geez, enough table setting. Let's actually start the quest, shall we? Pikachu's adventure begins in the Kanto region, when Professor Oak gives him to Ash as his first Pokemon, meaning that we start with Pikachu at level 5, just like he does in Pokemon Yellow. In that first episode, Pikachu actually gets his first win, and it's an impressive one. Ash and Pikachu get chased by a flock of Spearow, which forces
That's a lot of
Pikachu
Spearow.
to leap into the air and unleash an incredible Thunder Shock. Now, it's
gotta be at least 3 levels, right?
About level 5, considering that they're on Route 1. The most we see on screen at any given time is 46. So that right there gives us a nice
46?
healthy 1,900.
Damn, I mean, that's got to take you up to 1,905, dude. That's got to take you up to at least like 11, 12,
EXP
surely.
right off the bat, immediately jumping Pikachu to level 12 in
Oh, yes!
the
Predicted.
first episode alone. Things are looking good. Pikachu's victories after that first episode, though, become few and far between. Beating Brock's Geodude, a wild Squirtle in episode 12, Lieutenant Surge's Raichu, a wild
What? Pikachu doesn't beat a Pokemon between Squirtle and Raichu? And there's only 2 Pokemon in between Spearow and... What?
Grimer in episode 29, and a trainer's Paris on episode 41. Though,
Dude, no wonder he lost to Raichu so easily. He was like level 14 when he did
in
it.
this episode, we're going to assume that Paris is level 5 due to the story pointing out that he's particularly weak.
What a pathetic Patterrz.
At this point, we come to one of our first tricky calculations. Pikachu defeats Ash's Charmeleon in that same episode, episode 41, which on its own is fine, but Charmeleon only evolved the episode prior and will evolve again in just 2 episodes' time, not even appearing in the next episode. This means that
Dude, that Charmeleon is the #1 Pokemon that has potentially been on steroids.
we have very little to go
How did it grow so quickly? That doesn't make any
off
sense.
of what his level would be. So for the sake of simplicity, I'm just going to assume that he's now level 26, right in the middle of Charmeleon's 2 evolutionary points. After this, Pikachu wins against a wild Dodrio in a hospital in episode 44.
It's a
Our
decent
first
amount
Team
right
Rocket
there.
Faint in episode 1 of season 2. Then there's Blaine's Rhydon and a return
Dude, he really doesn't kill many Pokemon in season 1, does
of
he?
Jesse's Arbok in episode 6. 56. A few more uneventful battles before Pikachu has an incredible victory against 3 Pokemon at the start of the first movie, then have a fight with a trainer.
Oh, we're counting the
Marowak in
movies?
Season 2, episode
Right.
19. Pete's Arcanine in the 3rd round of the Pokemon League, episode 22, and his final Kanto victory, Richie's Butterfree in the 4th round, episode 25. So by the end of the Kanto region, Pikachu
That's
has
really
won
not much, is it?
21 battles, and by my calculations is now level 30, which makes his victory
Damn,
that
that's
much
so
more impressive.
weak.
Considering by the 4th round of the Pokemon League, your opponents are supposed to be in their high 50s. So I guess Ash is either smarter than we think, or he's incredibly lucky. Either way, his luck soon runs out. He's defeated by Richie, and Ash and Pikachu head on over to the Orange Islands. And, this is where things go a little off the rails. See, the Orange Islands have never appeared in any Pokemon game. Why? Why couldn't I have picked a simpler episode? It's okay, Pat. Remember what the therapist said. Breathe.
Honestly, I would just compare the Orange Islands levels to the Sevi Islands levels in Fire Red Leaf Green, because they're both islands that are an offshoot of Kanto, and they're around about the end, so it makes sense.
Closest thing I could find to the Orange Islands was the Sevi Islands.
I'm
introduced in
saying,
Fire
I'm
Red and
that.
Leaf
Yep.
Green, which, fun
There you
fact, by
go.
the way, I never thought about this when I was actually playing the games, but it finally clicked as I was researching for this episode. Sevi, V-I-I, that's 7 in Roman numerals, but it's also a pun. See, Sev is short for 7, and then the 2 I's at the end represent the 2 other islands. Mind explode.
Okay, I knew all of that apart from the eyes representing 2 other islands. That's really cool. I didn't
Anyway,
know
the
that.
Sevi Islands are located in a similar place on the wider world map, and they're basically the adventure after your main adventure in the Kanto region, so I'm guessing they're gonna have to do. Pikachu doesn't have many battles in the Orange Islands, but he does have himself a few wins. He beats Team Rocket's Arbok, Weezing, and Lickitung in Season 2, Episode 34, which would be similar levels to that of the Rocket Grunts that you find in the warehouse on Island 5. There's a
Yeah, that's
wild
pretty
Rhydon
fair.
and Jesse's Arbok, a second
How does Pikachu consistently, like, exclusively take down Pokemon that he should be weak to? It's 2 Rhydons, there was a Marowak there, I'm pretty sure there was Raichu, which he's supposed to be weak to that, he just keeps beating them.
And a gym leader's Marowak and Alakazam.
And there's another Marowak! Oh my god! And there was a Golem at the start of the first movie.
In Season 2, Episode 52, which
Jesus
is based off
Christ.
the Trainer Tower on Island 7. To finish it off, Ash challenges the champion of the Orange League, whose levels I was able to calculate from the Fire Red and Leaf Green League champion Rival Blue, when you challenge him to a rematch after beating the Sevi Islands, making them all about level 73. Pikachu crushes it, beating both his Ditto and Dragonite in Season 2, Episode 55 and 56. Ash actually wins this battle entirely and enters the
Bro,
Orange
that team
Island
is
Hall of Fame,
insane that
which,
he won that.
strangely enough, nobody ever seems to acknowledge. The show talks all about how the Orange League has trainers that are...
Whole lot.
And even though Ash wins, no one ever seems to remember it. Even in blogs outside of the show, he only got attention when he finally
Orange Islands is filler. It's not real.
won the Alola League. Like, oh my gosh, Ash actually won something for a change. He won back in Season 2, guys. I mean, what?
The Orange Islands don't matter. It's like winning Little League and him being upset that no one remembers that you won Little League like 25 years ago. Like, congratulations, you beat up some children.
What
Well
is it I
done.
gotta
You want
do
a pat on
get
the
some
back for that?
recognition around here? Your time will come, Ash. Your time will come. But before that, we got 3 more regions to plow through. At the end of the Orange Islands, Pikachu has amassed 35 levels. Wait, really? Is that it? How are you taking down Pokemon that are twice as powerful? At this point, you might think that my pursuit's been wasted, as by my own logic, Pikachu shouldn't have been able to win those fights, but I'm not gonna let anime logic get in the way of my cold heart.
No, you can
calculations.
still win
That
those
is,
fights. I've done it in the
empirically
games before.
speaking, what level he should be at based on all the fights he's done at this point in the series. So we're carrying onward to the Johto arc, which brings around a shift in the way that the anime works. The first 2 seasons had 2 regions and 2 leagues, but in Johto we actually have 3 seasons just to complete that 1 league.
Yeah, we really had to stretch it out. They discovered that everyone liked it, and they were like, damn, we gotta really stretch this
Meaning
one.
that there are way more battles per region along the way. So you would think that this is where Pikachu's level would start to climb faster, but there are 2 problems. First, Pikachu takes a bit of a back seat during the Johto arc to let Ash's shiny new Pokemon take the spotlight. Secondly, the start of a
Said shiny new Pokemon because there's a Noctowl in it. Don't think I didn't catch on to that, Matthew Pat. I caught on to that pretty
new
well there.
canon region also means an interesting twist with regards to the game mechanics. The Pokemon levels within the region reset. Although at this point Pikachu is at level 35, the Pokemon in the early routes will be very low level Pokemon, as you'd expect when you start a new game. The anime does make a point of this when Ash first arrives, showing that he's too overpowered, hence Pikachu taking a back seat and us saying goodbye to characters like Charizard and Squirtle.
He's too
early on.
overpowered.
Instead of
That's
me just
funny.
rattling off a bunch of battles, I'm gonna show you the list here. You can trust me, I watched them all. Some noteworthy things worth mentioning: episode 41, Ash runs into the other Team Rocket, Cassidy and Biff.
The name is Butch. Can't you get anything
right.
Sorry, Butch. So for these guys, I decided to take the grunts from the radio tower because it's the same city of Goldenrod, but also there's a striking
Damn, that's a
resemblance between
nice looking
Cassidy and the
city.
female rocket grunt. Next, Pikachu has a run-in with Whitney's famous Miltank in Season 4, Episode 1, which he does
It's level
defeat
20, it doesn't
upon second
matter.
Try, much like I did back in the day. Stupid Miltank and your stupid rollout. But the big headache and calculations came from our
Said it once and I'll say it again. Miltank is not scary. It's not threatening. It's not a big deal. Just get him a chop, bro. Just trade for them a chop. It's easy. But Morty, on the other hand, that bitch can go live in a hole for the rest of his life. I don't like
original
them.
Team Rocket. In episode 33 of Season 4, Pikachu defeats Jesse's Arbok. And in episode 24 of Season 5, he defeats James's Weezing. This is where the problems begin. See, these Pokemon are from the very first region, meaning that they must have grown since we last beat them on the Orange Islands at level 49. However, because of the region reset, we can't take our usual levels from the surrounding trainers, as suddenly they'd be back to like level 20, which just isn't possible. So I had to make an educated guess as to what level they'd be. Assuming they're growing at a similar rate to Pikachu, I'd put
42.
them down as Arbok being level 55 and Weezing being level 60 at the time of their respective battles.
What?
But if you don't agree with that methodology,
That's
it
so
doesn't matter
high.
in the long run, which you'll see later.
As I mentioned, Pikachu was used a lot less in this region, only 21 winning battles, the same as Kanto, but spread out over 3 seasons. This gives Pikachu a current level of 40, only 5 levels more since we
Okay,
last left off
that's
in the
still
Orange
so
Islands. But at
low,
least
though.
Now he's at a point where taking on Pokemon League opponents
Is my guess of him being level 54 by the time the black and white rolls around gonna be right? Because if it is, I'm gonna be I'm gonna pop off a little bit, not gonna lie.
And with that, it's time for a break. Seriously, this
Oh no, it's not Matthew Pathu, because I've got the next video lined up here. It's time to jump right into it, guys.
arc. At the start of Season 6,
Wait,
276
Season 6 is Sinnoh? That doesn't sound right.
Pikachu was standing at a shockingly low level of 40. But when you actually look at the data,
Where
it
did
makes
Hoenn
sense.
go,
What we
guys?
found while watching was that he doesn't fight as much as you might think in the anime. Sure, Pikachu regularly blasts off Team Rocket, but for engaging in actual battles against other Mons that can give him experience, Pikachu averages between
I guess
20
there's just
and
not enough time to let
25 fights
Pikachu
per
go hog
arc,
wild
which
on stuff,
isn't
right?
a whole lot relative to the number of episodes. Instead, he's usually sidelined for whatever shiny new Pokemon the anime wants to promote from that generation, giving him limited
Merchandise! That's why they need to promote merchandise. They can't just promote Pikachu forever. They need to promote the new shiny Pokemon so they can sell plushies. Damn it, capitalism!
actually get stronger. So just how powerful is Pikachu? Well, we've got another 324 episodes and 8 movies to cover, and I am determined that this will not be a 3-parter, so let's just get going.
Oh, dude, that is
So
such a
much more,
banger.
Always. You don't have to rub it in.
So
Theme of
much.
Pokemon Advance.
Such
You
a
don't have to
banger, I
rub
loved
in.
it.
As we get started, a few quick reminders. To find the experience of battling Pokemon, if they're wild, I'm taking
Oh, we know this, MatPat. It's okay.
on our journey, Hoenn. And this is where things really get interesting. You see, there's a theory online written by Reddit user Joe's Cool that claims that Pikachu's level resets at the start of every other region, not including the Orange Islands. To quote from that original theory,
Because
in
fuck the
final
Orange
Johto
Islands,
episode
boys, am I
41,
right?
James fires up a giant magnet which causes a bunch of stuff to come up and whack Ash, knocking him out. In addition, Pikachu gets trapped onto the magnet and his electricity is drained. These two events cause
Oh
Ash
my
to lose
God.
part of his memory and Pikachu to lose the power it gained through its journey. This
Oh, that's basically the equivalent of like breaking an arm and losing muscle mass because you're not able to work out on the arm. Oh, dude, that sucks.
explains why Ash and Pikachu seem to reset. They both
Also,
get caught
Ash
up in an
gets his
accident.
memory wiped. Like, he hits himself so hard in the head, he literally develops amnesia. That's an 11-year-old. Jesus
That
Christ.
seriously hurts them. And this is a great theory that explains a lot. Or at least it would be if the episodes didn't directly contradict all of it. And again, I know this because I gotta watch them all to do the theory. Sure, we see Pikachu get overcharged at the end of Johto.
Pikachu! Pikachu! You're burning up. You must have a bad fever.
But the very next episode, the
I don't know if
start
it's a
of
fever,
Hoenn,
buddy.
we're told multiple times that Pikachu is able to recover back to his normal state.
Pikachu's output is incredible! It appears that Pikachu's
It's me when I react to 5 videos in one stream.
electricity pressure has reached normal levels.
And all of this is without even mentioning the
His
fact that
output is
Ash's memory
incredible.
completely unaffected by all of it. A similar thing happens in the Shadow of Zekrom, the first episode of the Black and White series. In this
Oh, is that how we're gonna do this thing? We're gonna be like, oh, well, he just drained his level. He's back to level 5 now.
episode, Pikachu
Oh, he
and
progress
Ash
is
get caught
gone.
up in a thundercloud
The way is, I think experience is more like you're getting better at battling because you're doing it. Just like you would in the real world. You can't just you don't just unlearn riding a bike. You don't just unlearn a ton of things. I guess maybe if you hit yourself hard enough, you can unlearn it. And if you are taken out of action for a long time, then you aren't as good at doing a thing as you were before. But that's because you don't do it. So the muscle memory kind of fades. Not just because something zaps you and you're just like, oh, I'm weak now because I don't know how to fight because I got zapped.
And Pikachu gets overloaded by electricity from Zekrom.
Pikachu is completely enveloped inside a powerful electric field. All that electrical energy Pikachu absorbed from the thunderstorm was too much.
And that would explain why Pikachu's not able to use any electric-type moves.
And while it does certainly seem to
Too much of a
hamper him
good thing, boys.
temporarily, Pikachu's level again doesn't actually reset, as even without electricity, he's still able to use advanced moves like Iron Tail that, as we see earlier in the anime, Pikachu had trouble actually learning. It's also worth noting that Pikachu fully recovers one episode later, and also,
What is that
Pikachu
thumb?
getting overcharged is a very common occurrence throughout the series, with no long-term consequences to his power levels. Anyway, all that's to say that there isn't solid evidence of levels getting reset here. Plus, it would ruin the fun of figuring out what the big number is at the end of this thing. So, Hoenn, the playable region from Ruby, Sapphire, and later Emerald. This region spans 4 whole seasons of the anime, and Ash returns to using Pikachu as his primary Pokemon, which means a lot more battles for him. Things start off simple enough, just a basic journey following along the path of the games, but midway through, things get a little funny as Season 8 shifts to follow more closely with Pokemon Emerald in order to coincide with that game's release. You can tell this in Season 8, Episode 18 with the introduction of Juan, who's the 8th gym leader in Emerald as opposed to Wallace from Ruby and Sapphire. The anime also includes—
Dude, Juan is the most forgettable gym leader of all time. I will never remember that Juan is the thing. What does he do? I mean, you think he has like a cool dub voice at the very least,
Battle
but
Frontier, which is only
here's what
present in
Juan.
Pokemon
I mean, he's
Emerald. In the
dripped
end,
though.
There were 47 total victories in the region for Pikachu, nearly double any of the previous arcs.
Damn, he's been working hard. He's been on that grind. Well done, Pikachu.
Tedious, and no one wants to hear it. I'm just gonna list them here with the episode number, route, and level.
Look at that. Look at all this experience. Wow.
Yeah,
Oh
told you
my
there was a
god.
lot. And like I said, the Google Doc will be linked down in the description below, so if you
Ooh, there's
really
a lot
wanna dig
there.
in, you can find all the information down there. Anyway, the main place to stop is right about meow. This is where Ash goes to the Battle Frontier and faces off against the Frontier Brains. Now, how the Battle Frontier works in Pokemon Emerald is that there are 2
Oh, you don't
categories
get. He's gonna say you don't get experience, don't you?
of
Because
games
you
with
don't.
Level 50 and open level. Level 50 is the first class for Pokemon level 50.
But if he says you don't get experience, that actually wouldn't make sense because just because it's in a specific area doesn't mean you get better at don't get better at doing something the more you do it. If I do boxing in an official tournament, I'll still get better at boxing because I'm playing boxing at a high level.
50 or below, and all the opponent Pokemon will be at level 50 themselves. Whereas
But we're going off of
open
game
level
mechanics in
means
this, so
any
that kind of
Pokemon
makes
over
sense,
level
actually.
50 can enter, and the opponent's Pokemon will match your highest level Pokemon. Fortunately for us, at this point in the series, Pikachu actually caps in at 47, so he only qualifies for the level 50 mode, meaning that all the Frontier Brain Pokemon are gonna level at 50. I love it when things just work out. After beating the Brains, he only gains himself 1 level, and so Pikachu finishes off.
Oh, he's saying you do gain experience from this. Okay. So we're not going by game mechanics technically because you don't gain experience in there,
The
but okay,
Hoenn
okay.
region
I
at
respect it.
level
It's fine.
48. Next up, Sinnoh. And this region, this region. Hoenn was a breeze, nothing complicated, easy
How many
to follow,
Sinnoh
but I
seasons
knew it
were
was
there?
too good to
4?
be True. Sinnoh was determined to break me. Another 4-season region.
Yes, it
another
was.
49 battles, which you can see here. But the worst part, the worst part was Team Rocket. Curse you, Jesse and James. In the immortal words of Markiplier, it's big brain time. So the first Pokemon Pikachu encounters in the Sinnoh region is Dawn's new Piplup. That's
Damn, you got a solid 25 EXP for that one.
However, in that first episode, Pikachu also encounters Meowth, Mime Jr., and Wobbuffet from Team Rocket. He, of course, makes quick work of them, but the issue is that we have very little to go on for the levels. Mime Jr. is probably the least complicated.
It's like
as we see him
5.
use the move Mimic in episode 17 of season 9. We also know that move-based evolution
we're
is
going off of
considered
mood
important within the
pools?
Pokemon anime universe, as later in Diamond and Pearl, Apom learns Double Hit and soon after evolves into Ambipom. So even though time has passed since Mime Jr. used Mimic, he can't have leveled up, otherwise he would have evolved into Mr. Mime, meaning Mime Jr.
Well, they could cancel the evolution. It's technically possible as well, so you don't know that. I don't think he would want to. Pikachu, but I mean,
Here in
maybe
this
something
battle
could have
is
happened there.
sitting at level 32. Wobbuffet's a little harder to figure out, but we know that he was traded back on Route 34 of the Johto region, which would have made him at about level 11. So going on the idea that he's traveled 2 regions and taking into account Pikachu's level gain, I put him at level 40.
No shot Wobbuffet has gained any experience. That thing's only attacking move is the counter and Miracode. There's no shot that he has killed a single thing. Team Rocket does not know how to use the high-level strategy that is Wobbuffet.
Hardest in this instance, though, is Meowth.
They're too
Last time we
dumb,
saw him lose a
pea
battle
brains.
was in Kanto, where I estimated his level to be 31. It would be safe to assume that he grew at the same rate as Arbok and Weezing until they were released, which means by this point I've estimated Meowth to be level 70, which I know seems high, but once again, it's not
What?
all that big of a difference.
No, man. No, bro. That's
This anomaly in this region.
You crazy, Matt Pat. You crazy, what? He's buff. He's big and strong.
36 of season 12. The battle tower in Diamond and Pearl is slightly different to the battle frontier in that the only option is level 50, with all Pokemon being dropped to that level in your party regardless of their actual level. As this throws off a lot of calculations, I instead opted for the open level approach from the battle frontier, making his opponents the same level as Pikachu, which at this point is 58. And
I still think you can make it easier on yourself by just disregarding Battle Frontier and Battle Tower battles by just saying, well, you don't get experience in them. Then they'll make it easier on you.
Here, after Pikachu fights a few more Pokemon, we are finally in the Unova region. This is
it's
again
time.
where the series tries
Wait, I said 54 at the start of the video. I was kind of close, to be honest.
Reboot by trying to make Ash and Pikachu seem like a new team.
I said like 92 for some reason.
However, we know that this is absolutely 100% not true. Ash retains all of his memories of the journey thus far. When Dawn rejoins the team, we get this interaction. And later, when Dawn specifically asks about Brock cooking for her and Ash on the journey,
He's a convicted sex
also know that
offender.
Pikachu retains all the moves that he's learned up to this point, like Iron Tail, which a new Pokemon trainer is unlikely to have taught a brand new Pikachu. Even the
You can get
show
the TM
only
from it from, like,
half-heartedly adheres
anywhere.
to its own reboot, as in that very same.
Look at this. This is Cat. Were they in business
episode, we
class?
get this.
No, I was on a plane recently. Okay, it did not wait. Is that a plane or is that a boat? Either way, even if it's a train, this is Cap. Nowhere ever gives you this much legroom. Are they paying for business class? Are they paying for first class? How much money you got, Professor Oak? What's those government grants looking like, huh? I'm pissed off. I want more room in my airplane flights.
Hard to say Pikachu reverted back to level 5 when he's actively being called the world's most powerful Pikachu. So, with all that being said, it means we're
because everyone else evolves to
finally
Raichu.
arrived at that big final number. Pikachu's level in his battle against Snivy. What is he? Level 90? 100? 200? Well, strap in because that number is, after compiling all 148 Pikachu battles across 600 plus episodes and
It's 56, 60, 62.
doing really elaborate calculations to get there.
Oh, here we go.
Drumroll, please.
Here we go. It's
Pikachu's final level
60,
is
62.
61.
Ah, damn it, so
Underwhelming,
close.
right? Like, he's traversed 5 whole regions. Most people are getting close to that
61?
level
That's
after doing a
pathetic.
single run through a game. Even if you didn't
Red is looking at Ash and spitting on him. He had a level 88 Pikachu after doing one
like
region.
some of my estimations for Team Rocket battles, if we remove them entirely from the equation, it would still only put Pikachu at level 59. Any way you slice it, he's not as powerful as we all think he should be. I've seen forums of people online saying it must be 100. If the levels went over 100, he'd be like 1,000 at this point. But having sat down and painstakingly scrubbed through all the episodes, looking for every tiny detail,
That's crazy. I didn't realize Pikachu did so few battles in the anime. Because he's the poster boy, you'd be expecting him to be in every battle left and right. But then you realize that Pokemon has to make money. They have to sell those plushies, so they gotta show off all their new sparkly mons in all of the episodes. Oh, what's that? We're releasing a new TCG set with Charizard in? Well, it's time for Charizard to come back, isn't it? They can always sell Pikachu. Pikachu is easy to sell because he's literally on the cover of everything. But you need to show off all those other mons to make sure that they also get the money from that too. Versus
definitively
Snivy.
that is not the case. He is like low 60s at best. So what's that mean for our battle against Snivy? Long story short, Snivy still should have been toast. As I mentioned at the start,
I mean,
Pikachu is
yeah,
the first to
obviously.
land a hit with a successful quick attack. To give Snivy the best possible chance, we're gonna assume that this is just the buffest level 5 you could possibly get. with
Look
an
at him. He's so buff. That's
HP of
that's
21
awesome.
and defense of 12. And let's also say that Pikachu is my lower estimate of level 59. At that level, the lowest Pikachu's attack stat could be is 69, with quick attack's base power being 40 and the randomizer
And that's with
feat
0 EVs and 0 IVs as
set
well.
to its lowest setting of 0.85, we can use the in-game equations to figure out that Pikachu's attack would do 95 damage, and 21 Snivy HP minus 95 damage equals negative 74. Snivy could be knocked out 3 more times with just that one hit. And to really round it off, let's just say that somehow Snivy did survive the quick attack. When it goes on the offensive, its attack and special attack stats are both 11. Pikachu's lowest possible stats here would be HP 110, defense 52, special defense 64. Let's also say the randomizer hits at its
He
highest
must have
point,
thrown.
and both attacks
He must
are
have come in
critical
at, like,
hits
level
for
1.
Snivy. With Tackle having a base power of 50
Focus
and Leaf
Sash.
Tornado being 65, the most total damage that could be done would be 32 hit points. Pikachu would still have 78 HP remaining. So where does all this leave us? Well,
Snivy had a focus sash. Pikachu was injured from a battle before. Boom, had 1 health point left. Snivy lived the quick attack. Boom. Easy claps, boys. There we go. I've sold it. Make sure you subscribe to my main channel because I stream there every single day. And subscribe to Game Theories. Link in the description. Thanks. Bye.